welcome to Tower of Cracked Crushed Cubes. It is a tower in Zone 3 of JToH. It's actually going to be a pretty cool looking one, as just look at it. Doesn't that look awesome? It's a sequel to Tower of Broken Bricks, and it makes sense why. Do not fall in this pit. If you do, you'll get soft locked. Do this pretty menacing tightrope with this also menacing button. Whoo! I almost had a recreation of that moving platform incident in the easy tower race. Yeah, I kind of don't want to go back to that one. Now we will head here on this X platform. Come up here, and then boom, we've scared Slammo. But hey, at least it wasn't in vain, because now we have this nice little area. I don't complain about scaring Slammo. I'm pretty sure the JToH community will hate me for it. Which is pretty bad. Oh. Why did I jump on that? See, the area is... You got a pretty nice view. I have no idea why I did that. But there isn't a lot of time in which you can do that, so... Just be careful. Oh yeah, this hard tower technically has a GBJ at the bottom, which is this thing. Yeah. The towers in this area are known. The towers in this series are known to be somewhat unforgiving. So now we're in the teleporter. Don't know why that doesn't count as button progress. But now we have this nice little morpher section. I'm gonna give you very critical advice here. Do not fall. If in the event you do fall, make sure you're on one of these quadrants. Because if you aren't, you're going to lose all of your progress. And you don't necessarily want that. Because otherwise, you'll have to restart the tower, pretty much. And outside sections are, well, outside sections. They're already pretty unforgiving. Unless you miraculously fall on one of these things, then there's a good chance you're going to have to restart the tower from the beginning. Which, trust me, you don't want. Also, these platforms have extremely short intervals in which they move. So you better use every opportunity to use these as possible. Every possible opportunity to use those. Because if you miss it, it'll be like the toast thing, but even worse. Just go up in a simple elevator. These jumps are really simple. Not to mention they're netted. Whoo! I almost fell there. Oh yeah, that's probably the scariest jump in the entire tower, so be extremely careful while doing it. Do not get confused by these neon jumps. To be honest, I wish they weren't neon. and we're just some other material other than neon. Because that means you can hardly tell if there's a platform there or not. I'm fine with them being used for tight ropes. I'm not fine with them being used for that purpose. Now I have this outside section. Yeah, there's a surprisingly large amount of outside sections in this tower. Which can be pretty terrifying for some. Which for some could be pretty terrifying. Especially when you realize that falling in any of these and outside of these quadrants, and now we have a pretty interesting puzzle, which leads to me falling yet again. I love this tower, and there's a reason why I put most of my statements in heavy air quotes. And also, this tower is extremely punishing, even if you don't fall into these areas. Because a fall from the top floor can easily... A fall from the highest floor can easily... From one of the highest floors can easily send you back to the beginning of the tower. Now that I think of it, you'd be lucky if you keep your button progress. Now that I think of it, you'd be lucky if you keep your button progress. Because there's a good chance you'll lose it. Outside of any of these islands, you're going to lose a tower. This is to reiterate, so don't ask why. I am reiterating it, just ignore it. It's also pretty hard for its difficulty. As in my opinion, it should be mid-high hard. Of course, I want to say I don't know what I'm talking about. In which case, yeah, you're probably right. If you're going to be dealing with one-stud platforms, please don't use any aura that looks like this. Me using this aura is risky, especially with platforms like this, is risky as hell. And I wouldn't want you having to restart the entire tower. Because, yeah. I mean, you want to beat this. This is probably also going to be one of my longer videos due to the immense length. But not because of the immense length of the tower, but simply because the tower hasn't been very fair, to be honest. Look up. Now do the simple path waveform in which you have to look up. Which doing so is very important, as there are a lot of places in this puzzle where you can fall to where you fall to the GBJ. It should also be a teleport, to be honest, and not a GBJ, because that's stupid. And yeah, I'm saying GBJ a lot, but it literally is a GBJ. Now I have this section. And yeah, that's the first amount of blood progress we'll be getting for a while. Because the last instance of blood progress was at floor 1. So yeah, blood progress during the early portions of this tower is few and far between. Now I have a simple puzzle. But don't walk off, because otherwise you'll have to you'll fall in the GBJ. Now we have whatever this section is. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting combo, to say the least. Now I have this section. Be very careful. I have to go very slow at this section. Which makes sense. You want to stay safe, right? No? Weird. This is the point where the tower starts getting a bit more interesting for me, because you get some of the custom client objects, which I always love when they're used. But now we have turrets. Always make sure to heal in between the turret spots. And now we have this section, which is needlessly scary for no reason, because despite the fact that... Oh, I almost had to restart the tower. Ooh. Despite the fact that... So yeah, you have to wrap around the entire truss. Which, trust me, is easier said than done. Now you have these simple conveyor jumps. This honestly reminds me of one of the... Of Tower of Hell's outside section. Or Tower of Heck if you really want to. Or Tower of Heck if you really want to call it that. Or Tower of Heck, or Tower of Heck if you really want to call it that. Now we get some clouds. What the hell are clouds in this tower? I thought they were reserved for Ring 1 towers. Anyways, after that unfunny Ring 1 joke, we now have this part, which sends us on another elevator into this section that catches us. And yes, we're on another outside section. How many outside sections are in this tower? Me? I don't. For me? Hell if I know. But hey, now we're at this section, which activates the green button. And yes, that was bottom progress, believe it or not. But now we have to switch this X pusher back. It's a similar mechanic to one used in Tower of Killjoys. That video will eventually release, I promise. But now we have this part, the red section. Oh boy, don't we all love the color red? Except for if it's in a tower. Otherwise, in that case, ew. But now we have to find a way on how to get to the top of the tower. Thankfully, we have a solution. Being yay, button progress. We got, and I spent a needless amount of time being confused. Oh yeah. Purple. Oh yeah, for this you have to. So purple, purple, ammo, purple, ammos, purple, ammos, 7, broken bricks, and pushing platform. It's just a simple quiz section, which in my opinion is kind of overused, especially in newer towers. Because we just got that in Tower of. Oh yeah. By the way, now these are falling apart. Oh no. Now these are falling apart. And now we have a giant Kilbrick spinner. A giant Kilbrick spinner has awoken. But this is not a real win pad. And now we get to go here. The mini broken bricks. Believe it or not, it's not a GBJ. Just like broken bricks. Unlike the real broken bricks. It's basically if the neat project. It's basically if Tower of Broken Bricks was in the neat project, which is still yet to receive another update. But unlike neats, this one has all 10 floors, so it could technically be a small Coliseum tower. I have no idea what the hell I'm saying. To be honest, it makes me sound like I'm a JToH fan game fanatic. Now we get another outside section. Yes, this series is kind of well known for outside sections. It's kind of known for outside sections. For this series of towers is kind of known for outside sections. Now we have these wraparounds, these simple one stud wraps, and now we have the not a win pad, And that unlocks these two platforms. Yeah, you don't have unless you really want to. You don't have to do those again. Now we have these pushing platforms. Now I have these shoving platforms, which I'm pretty sure you get the deal if you've played Toast. Now we're on the second floor 9, the second to last floor. And believe it or not, this is actually one of the most boring conveyor sections in the entire game. But we have something interesting. Roll the ball. But you could alternatively you could press this. What the frick? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's a blue button. You should remember it for. Oh yeah. Remember this blue button for later. You'll probably need it. But considering. And would you look at that? It's the blue button. Hello. We also get introduced to the blue sphere. Yay! I don't know what the frick I'm saying, to be honest. But just push this blue sphere down into the button, and this new section will activate. Meaning, yeah, there's a lot more button progress towards the end of the tower. But now we get various things. Basically a quiz. Basically another quiz. True blue. blue, 26. Now we have A5, B7, D8, E6, D4, C2, E1, G1, H3. Then boom, that button gets activated. H3. Alternatively, you could just look up. And yeah, this is a recollection of the best puzzles. If this puzzle's too hard, press the button. Now you just have to go back. I'm not sure why they don't teleport you after pressing a button. I mean, they do that in floor 8, so why can't they do it now? Is there something I'm missing here? Now we have to revert these platforms to give but we can still safely traverse this section. But hey, we have why are they removed? Why are they removed? This is deeply concerning. Why are they removed? This is deeply concerning. But hey, after that trial, this is gonna be the my second longest video by far, but hey, now we jump on the square and boom, we're finished with the tower. Anyways, like and subscribe, and consider activating push notifications. Bye.